Hello and welcome to another Warcraft the audio commentary. Today we're watching game number 2 in the WEL round of 4, round 1, that's how it's labeled. Games best of 3 series between Cechi spawning in as the yellow undead in the upper left of Crystal Kingdoms 1.3 versus Lyn spawning in as the teal orc in the lower right. Yes indeed, what a game. Game 1 was really good. If you didn't see it, if you're on YouTube, these are streamed on twitch.tv/PureBeLive, generally like at 9 o'clock p.m. EST. That's my goal, like Monday to Friday, roughly-ish, maybe Sundays, I don't know. But that's like the goal, that's the time frame, so check that out if you want to watch them live. Otherwise, they go onto YouTube like the next day-ish. Right, so if you're on YouTube, though, you can watch Game 1 if you want to before this, because this is kind of like spoilers, I guess, I don't know. So watch that one first. It was really good. But this is Game 2. This is Crystal Kingdom 1.3. It's the ladder map. If you haven't seen it before, it's kind of a newish map, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot like the ladder map. I think it's a 1v1 map now, so there's like, this is a spawn, and this is a spawn, and I don't think this is a spawn or this, so... And you still have to be really careful of the middle map creeps, which like have Shadow Strike or something. It's crazy. I want to do like a proper review of this map. Actually, I want to do like proper reviews of like all the new maps. I want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to, but I want to do that. So let's get into this game. We've kind of been talking about gibberish so far. We do have Cechi going for the standard Crypt Fiend Death Knight build. Fairly much what you expect, right? And of course, we're seeing the same pretty much coming from Lyn. He's just doing the 2 grunt tech, it looks like, anyway, with the Blade Master. So it's kinda what you expect. He's got a shop coming down right here, which is an interesting spot. I wonder if he can probably stand right here. Oh, that would be really clever. If he can stand right here and get the items, that would be really cool. Let's see, what does he get? He gets a circlet. Oh, what a great item. That's the item he really wants from those types of creeps. Whenever you can drop an item, it's circlet plus 2 gauntlets of strength, agility, intelligence, whatever, or circlet. So generally you want circlet because it's like the best. Actually, they're plus 3 if it's just 1 stat, and if it's the circlet, it's plus 2 all. So it's really nice. And that was really good abuse of the AI. That means he took a little bit less damage right off the bat, which is always really good, because when the thing finished, oh, well, I guess this just is really easy to kill, so I guess he can do that as well, but he can actually buy items from the shop right there, which is really cool. And he's scouting with a grunt. I think he's gonna sell the TP, yeah. Why not? Get the rest of the items you want it. And is that a 2 grunt tech? It is a 2 grunt tech indeed. Over here for Cechi, he is also creeping, of course, using skeleton rods where necessary. You know, I think it's a 2 fiend tech as well, in a way matching his opponent. 2 fiend tech, get the 3rd ghoul, because you need 3 ghouls, because you use so much lumber as an undead player in like tier 2 and tier 3 in the mid game, etc. Slaughterhouse is like 150 lumber-ish. The Lich is like 100 lumber-ish. Teching is like 200 some lumber-ish. So it's a lot of lumber. Over here, we're going to see a little bit of a jack coming in from Lyn onto Cechi, and he is going to take a little bit of damage on one of his fiends, trying not to take too much damage on these guys. He did get a really nice item, though. Look at that, a Pendant of Energy that gives him 2 additional coils early on, and also a bigger mana pool, which is always really good, because it means, like, the more time that you're spending, like, anytime you're in mana, that's, like, less than 150 mana from full when you are holding a thing like this, it means you're like getting extra mana just because you're having the item, because your mana pool's bigger and you're getting more mana regeneration benefit. So it's really cool, really nice. And it's also really good at the start of like a fight to just have 450 mana. That's so good. It's so good. Such a good item. Oh, it's so good. But Cechi's being a little bit bold right now. You know, he got harassed out of this way, this creep, and he's going to go straight back down there. And in fact, he's got a little bit of scouting going on, and that's kind of really important. Kind of gives him the balls, I guess, to go down that way, if that's how you want to put it. A little bit crass there. But he knows where the orc is. He knows he can safely come down here and creep this out. And he has a watch ward now. Really, really good. Lets him see the Blade Master being invisible and trying to do sneaky, snarky little things. He wants to get level 3 really bad. That's kind of your goal as the undead player when you're playing a fiend-based strategy against orcs. Generally speaking, you want to get level 3. It's not the end-all be-all. You can do things with a level 2 or level 1 even, God forbid, Death Knight, but you really want level 3. That's really important. And you want it before your second hero. That's the other thing. Speaking of the second hero, we're about to find out, is he going to go for the delayed tier 3, like we saw last game, or is he going to go for the fast tier? I guess those options are kind of like oh, it's either... Yeah, it looks going to be the delayed, the Slaughterhouse, get the Lich out. And the one downside we didn't really talk about last game for this is that with this build, when you immediately get the Lich, and you do it usually you'll delay your Slaughterhouse rather than the Lich if you want to go for a fast tech. Sometimes you won't if you happen to know that your opponent's someone who likes to cancel Slaughterhouses. But there's another reason that we didn't talk about, which is the experience issue and how important, at least how much you really want to get level 3. So if you don't start that Lich and get tier 2, then you get 15% additional experience on your hero up until the point when you start your Lich when you're tier 2. So if you go for the fast tier 3 tech and you delay the Lich a little bit, you can get level 3 a little bit easier on your Death Knight. Of course, we did just see him do a pretty nice coil still for level 3 right there at that mercenary camp. Lynn's not super happy about that, I'm sure, because that denied his level 3 while giving the Death Knight level 3. That's just not great for him. But Cechi does have that Lich out right now, and he did go Frost Armor first this game, not being as risky about it. And Lynn going for the Torn Chieftain second. This, I'm gonna be honest, this is hard to deal with as an undead player. The Blade Master Torn Chieftain, it's a lot harder to play against in my opinion. With the Shadow Hunter, you know, it's a little bit, I mean, you get a lot of healing, but positioning is a lot harder for the orc to get. Whereas with the Torn Chieftain, they can just like come in and boom, big stomp, and it's a lot easier to get good positioning and get you get this great AoE disable, stun, etc. with the Torn Chieftain. And every level he gets, you know, his Torn Chieftain stomp, it gets bigger and lasts longer. So like it's a bigger radius, so it hits more units and it lasts longer. So you know, it's really, really painful to deal with if that thing gets levels. And Cechi last game, he kind of went into like a creep mode game, which, you know, not a lot of harass, and that's not what you want to do if you're versus a Torn Chieftain. You want to delay that level 3 as long as possible, and I don't know if he even knows that he went Torn Chieftain. And if he just keeps going for the creeping, I think that Lynn's going to take the advantage just because of how hard it is to deal with a high-level Torn Chieftain. Your goal really is to actually delay him from leveling up. That's kind of what your goal becomes. It becomes more important, I think, than getting experience on your own heroes. Because your big is he's going to get level 3 and take an expansion, and you're not going to be able to stop it. And it's really hard to deal with that. Now, that might not be what he's going for, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. So just looking at this, he is tier 3. We should see both players at tier 3. Yeah, we do. And he's going to do a lot of harass with the Blade Master. Not, you know, he's took a lot of damage and it might look a little risky, but he knew, you know, when you have 250 HP after like a full round of nukes, you're not even close to being in danger. Unless you're sticking around for a second round of nukes, which you're not going to do if you're Lyn, because you're not, you know, you're good. Unless you're like doing it on purpose, I don't think he would. I can't imagine why he would ever want to do that. So here we're going to see the ball, the orb of lightning, the ball of lightning, whatever you want to call it. Really good item. Works really well with Torn Chieftain, right? Because this guy is all like, oh, I'm going to get... Like, well, first of all, Orc is a race that is very position heavy. If you notice in a lot of fights with Orcs, the worse their position is, like, the significantly worse they will do. And the much, you know, the better their position is, the significantly better they will do. It is very much a positional race. For example, if the Orc tried to come in right here, there's kind of a choke point here. It's kind of big, so it wouldn't be as, it would be kind of evenish. But let me see if I can find like a better example. Like, let's say the Orc was coming in from here, he breaks the ice rock, he comes in through here, and the Undead's here. Like, the Undead's gonna just steamroll him. Versus here, here, or the Orcs here and the Undeads here, the Orcs probably going to win that fight. So it's very much a positioning thing. And so when you have something that lets you cast Purge on units, kind of just like by hitting them, like a lot, which is what the Blade Master does, and it kind of helps you deal with the position, and then it gives more time for the Tauren Chieftain to come in and mess things up, and of course you have your Raiders. This is all of these units work really well together to screw up the positioning of the Undead and to win fights just from being in a great position. And that's what makes, you know, dealing with when they expand really hard, because they get to just TP in, and then they're probably gonna have good positioning. Like if you have an expansion right here, and the Undead's right here, you can TP right here, and you're like, ah, the Undead's in trouble. And if the Undead's here, you can TP like right there, or here, or here, or here. You can TP so many places. It's really good. It's a really strong strategy. But here we're going to see a fight going underway. This is not the kind of fight Cechi wants, so he's probably going to try to retreat into like the most tight ball place he can. He's not going to keep his army near that. He needs to focus the Tauren Chieftain down immediately, but he will pop that potion of healing, and we're going to see him keep on trying to kill him, but he will pop that potion of lesser invulnerability. Your goal there is to remove the TC from the fight as fast as you can, and hopefully before the rest of the Orc army catches up. And actually a really good play from Lynn. He's going to pick up a Zeppelin. Looks like we don't have Web, and he's going to be able to keep that Tauren Chieftain in the Zeppelin. Meanwhile, you know, just doing that to go ahead and get the stomp off. He will pass a Heal of Scrolling as well as a Speech Scroll, try to get that Tauren Chieftain out of there at 106 life. He will manage to narrowly escape death after expending all of his mana pool. So other than his aura at this point, he's not really super useful anyway. He does a lot of DPS, but that's not really a big concern when you have the Blade Master, and you've already done so much damage to the Undead army. Nonetheless, that was a pretty impressive defense by Cechi. He's still going to have to TP to avoid losing his Death Knight, and might lose that feat. No, it looks like it's going to live. So Cechi still played really well in that fight. Really, really well. But, you know, Lyn, I think, would still be considered the winner there. I guess it depends on how you want to look at it. Both players played really, really well, though. So that's kind of intense. Very intense. The big issue, I would say, right now is that Cechi's got a lot of mana. I think he just bought a potion of mana and used it. And he dropped repetitive mana, you get a little bit of additional mana that way. So he has a lot of mana. Of course, gets his statue out. Gonna get to pick off a free ghoul right there. Now, the big thing that's interesting right now is that we don't actually see an expansion at all on the map by Lyn. I'm kind of shocked, honestly, because if he had an expansion up right now, there's no way Cechi could go and like hit it, really. I mean, well, maybe he could. Let me look at the food supply. Let me see, 49 food to 45 food. Well, Lyn is behind a little bit, so, but he still could defend an expansion, right? Like he could still, you know, it's a pretty big map. You try running units all the way over here or over here or something, it's gonna be really hard to like take down an expansion in that situation. I'm getting out of water. It's not good. I need to get more. But back to the game. We're going to see a nice bit of scouting coming in from this Wand of Illusioned Tauren Chieftain, which is, you know, nice. And we're going to see Lyn just pulling out this, maybe? Or was the Skeleton Warrior that did it? It looks like Lyn did. Yeah, Lyn did. And he's just going to... This is a hard creep. You can see it's level 8 on that thing. He's going to even use a Stomp to take it down. Ooh, what a great item. Talisman of the Wild, if I can talk. Talisman of the Wild. Summons little furbolgs. There's a fairly long cooldown on the items, so you can't summon all 3 at once. In Reign of Chaos you can, but in the Frozen Throne, which is TFT, this version, the expansion pack, whatever you're gonna call it, they added like a really long cooldown on that. So it's like 20, 25 seconds, something like that, I think. Maybe not quite that extreme, maybe like 12, I don't know. But it's fairly long, so you can't like, if you want to have all 3 available in a fight, you have to like summon them before the fight starts. And a decent amount of time before it really. But either way, looking at the food counts, once again we do see 50 food on Lyn, and he's going to go ahead and try to take this fight. We do see the Dark Ranger really in a bad position here. It looks like he may even go down. Yes, he will. He tried to get a silence off. It was a good silence. Unfortunately, a potion of invulnerability or lesser invulnerability on that Tauren Chieftain will allow him to simply ignore the silence and get a wonderful stomp right there. Not only delaying and stopping the coil, the death coil for the Dark Ranger, also stopping like all the movement the Dark Ranger could do to get out of that situation. And down he will go. The Tauren Chieftain getting really, really low as well. He actually is going to go down as well. So not looking too great for Lyn right now, but he does have a lot of Troll Berserkers here. They are upgraded, at least one upgrade. That's for armor. It's not going to do a whole lot. The level 5 Blade Master, that could potentially do a whole lot. And the fact that we're fighting, or that Cechi's fighting here at Lin's base is actually working really, really heavily in Lin's favor right now. You know, and Cechi wants to take out a lot of these easy to kill units. I don't think he wants to be able to kill the, I mean, I think he would love to kill the Blade Master, but I don't think he can. I think he just wants to pick off as many units as he can, trade units, keep the food supply counts low, and trade as much as you can while the Tauren Chieftain is dead. You know, and I think Lin recognized that and he backed off. Plus, you know, because he could have kept that fight, and he could have taken it down to pretty much just the 2 heroes and the Blade Master. But it probably wouldn't have been worth it for him. So he's actually going to lose this altar way before that Tauren Chieftain comes out. He's probably just going to revive it at the tavern. Really smart play you're seeing right now by Lin, saying, I don't want to fight that even though I could fight that. Like, I could fight this, but I'm not going to. And it's really, really smart play. Of course, he's going to sacrifice some peons here just to delay this as he moves across the map. I don't think there's any way this Tauren Chieftain's coming out, but, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. It's definitely possible that I'm wrong. But it doesn't look it. It really doesn't look it. Down he will go. Here we can see the Dark Ranger. He's gonna die. There's a Raider and a Blade Master. He's trying his best, you know. He's saying no, don't kill me, but he's gonna die, getting a fair amount of experience over to that Blade Master as well. So who's in the lead right now? That's a great question. Really, the thing is right now, I'm surprised Cechi's not going for burrows, because he knows this army's over here, so he knows there's a decent chance that there aren't any units at the tavern to tavern back the Tauren Chieftain. But he could, you know, the thing is, because he knew the army was over here, that he knew he could probably go into a wonky position right here, and I'm pretty sure he knew. Yeah, no teleport scroll on that Blade Master, so he could have killed some burrows, but instead he chose to kill the barracks. Which gives him a better position to kill the burrows, but again, he could have killed the burrows. He could have. Anyway, so here comes the Orc army. He's going to immediately TP out and use burrow very effectively to prevent any of those fiends from dying. Really good play, and he did kill the barracks, so he killed some of the production of the Orc player as well as one of the burrows. But he's just gonna put the barracks back up. Delays the Orc a little bit. It does cost him a fair amount of money, something like 300-ish gold. Like 100 and 200, maybe 300 wood, something like that, yeah, for the barracks and the burrow. And time's always really important, but, you know, he's sitting at 42 food, and Cechi is sitting at 46 food, so time's not a huge issue right there. Resources are kind of the bigger one there. Of course, we do see this is a fountain of mana. This is a fountain of health. Just a little note that I probably should have talked about, but I just now noticed, so I couldn't. So I need to do a map review. Ooh. Yeah, and level 5 on the Death Knight's a really good hero level. Level 4 on the Lich, getting very close to level 5, and level 1 of the Dark Ranger. So what is that item? What is? Oh, it's a Cloak of Shadows. That doesn't really. You know, you might as well get it. Could win you the game, probably won't, but you might as well get it. You can see level 5 on that Blade Master. He's getting fairly close. He's about halfway through, just a little bit less than halfway through level 5. So it's definitely within the realm of possibility that he gets level 6, depending on how this next fight goes. The Tauren Chieftain does have an Ankh of Reincarnation now, as well as a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. The potion probably going to get used immediately at the start of the fight. And then once he dies, he just stays in tanks, I guess, some damage. He can Ankh. So that's really good items for the Tauren Chieftain. Those are like really, really good items. I'm surprised he's hogging experience with the Death Knight. I know he's doing it because of speed and position issues, but he could get level 5 on that Lich if he didn't do that. But you know what? It is what it is. And if he catches this Coda Beast, that might just be enough experience. I don't think it will be, but it might just be. I doubt it. But he will go ahead and nuke it down. Kill it. Why not? So close. 5 experience away on the Lich to level 5. So he just needs to kill one more of anything. Like anything that the Orc has. Or creeps will do it. Nuking down the Blade Master, a pretty good option, actually. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah. Oh. but this is a Fountain of Health. So unfortunately, that was actually no, he did use the healing salve. That's fine. Not bad for the orc or the undead player. Not great for the orc player. I mean, you use a little bit of mana that way, but they do have a lot of mana because they were sitting over here chilling at the Fountain of Mana to get a lot of mana, so it's not terrible. Let's look at the army counts. We do see Cechi sitting at 57 and Lynn is sitting at 49. Oh, but it doesn't... Oh, so Cechi actually sees that Blade Master because he has a ward, which lets him see invisible. This is not the position that Cechi wants to be fighting in whatsoever, but he's going to take it. Oh, and his Lich is in a lot of trouble. His Lich is still stunned. He will get a great coil off, and that's actually going to keep him alive just a little bit longer. A second coil coming in, as well as a Hellstone being used. He needs to pass that TP over to it. Oh, it goes down. That's really unfortunate for him. And he did pass the TP. Oh no, he's gonna lose everything, and GG gets called. How unfortunate. Passing the TP just not quite fast enough to actually TP back home and losing the fight. What a bad position. But that's kind of the power, right, of the Orc army. When you go into Torn Cheats and Typist play, you don't really see Spirit Breakers, or Walkers, I'm sorry, to cast Spirit Links. You're not looking for the durable army. You're looking for the shock and awe army, the raw Orc Berserker army, right? And that's what we saw. And the stun block and the DPS output just murdered them. So the best counter to that really is keeping like potions of lesser invulnerability on the Lich and the Dark Ranger, and then like a TP on the Death Knight, or in something along those lines. Generally, the TP stays on the DK because that's like the least likely to be the first target. So kind of bad, a little bit bad planning, I think, by Cechi to not have some sort of survivability items. I mean, he might not have been able to get them, but that's kind of like the way to deal with it. But that's game 2, and we're going to go into game 3 right after this. If this is on YouTube, hopefully you can click right there, and that should take you there. If you're on the stream, we're going to go to break for just a moment, and we'll be right back.